When it comes to choosing between the material that could be had from Krishna and the guidance that could be had from Krishna, he opted the material, and that's the central mistake each of us makes. Krishna says elsewhere in the Gita, you can have either me or my Maya. There are the only two options that you have. There is no third thing to have. In fact, there is not even a second thing to have, because even the Maya that you rush after is mine. And the more you will entangled, embroiled there, the more you will be forced to remember me. After all, it's my Maya. But nevertheless, still most people opt for Maya. So did Duryodhana. And just before the war is to begin, Duryodhana seems to have realized that he has made an irreversible blunder. So we see all kinds of scattered and loose statements from him, all denoting a realization of weakness. Then we come to Arjuna, another case study. What does Duryodhana stand for? Duryodhana stands for someone who has made repeatedly such bad judgments in life that now it has become practically impossible for him to be redeemed. That's who Duryodhana stands for. That's one extreme of consciousness, a type of consciousness that continuously denies and defies truth all its life and find itself finally concerned into a sport from where it cannot recover. Even if it has just seen the truth in a moment, even if it has just realized that it has been making blunders, yet the weight of all the misjudgments in the past is so heavy that it is now just impossible or too late to recover or make amends. That's who Duryodhana stands for. And it's very tragic situation. Just when you are at the end of your life, and if Duryodhana can see this much that his forces are insufficient, he can also probably see that all those, including him, who are engaged against Krishna's side are very near their end. Right? If the Duryodhana can see that in spite of having an army that's almost 50% larger than the army of the Pandavas, he is still insufficient and incapable. If he can see that, obviously he can see the clear conclusion as well. And the conclusion is that all of you are going to be finished. How will it feel to us when we have lived through several precious decades of life to realize that it's too late? That realization will be so painful that let's wish that we never realize at all then. Let's wish that we die in our ignorance without ever having had the realization that Duryodhana is having in the first chapter. You have invested in all your time, energy, money, everything in your existence into a particular center, into a particular kind of life. And then in the evening of life, you realize that you have just wasted it all. Please experience it today. Before that experience comes too late, if you experience that when you are 60 or 70 or 80, won't it be too late? So let's pre-live that experience. Let's put imagination to some useful service. Imagine how would it feel? You are 70 and you realize that you have totally wasted life, how would it be? Very tragic. No? A chill run down the spine, almost as if you have seen a ghost. That kind of scare. And that's what Duryodhana is going through. Even before the war has begun, he has seen that he has lost not only the war but his entire life. In a sense, he has seen that he is already dead. Worse than that, he has seen that he never lived at all. That's the nature of reality, you know. Often, it shows up in very unexpected moments. Moments of significance, moments of great pressure and challenge have these characteristics. What you have been trying to hide to yourself just gets revealed in that moment, because that moment is extremely significant, because the pressure of that moment just shatters your pretense. The fact of that moment, the heaviness of that fact, your pretense gets collapsed under it. It breaks down, and then you have no option but to confront the reality as it is. And for the Duryodhana, the reality is quite gory. Then we come to Arjuna. Let's see how Arjuna is feeling, and Arjuna is the other end of consciousness. Where does Arjuna stand? Duryodhana stands in an almost hopeless state. The state is of near hopelessness. We cannot say perfect hopelessness. Why not perfect hopelessness? Because the war has yet not begun. Duryodhana can still choose to rush to Krishna's side and say, I can see that I have been erring. I admit my mistakes. I realize I have been operating from just the wrong center of greed, envy, covetousness. I see that and I surrender. Duryodhana can say that, right? But Duryodhana won't say that. So I am saying Duryodhana is in a state of near helplessness. The option to correct yourself is always available, right? And that's the beauty about life. It involves choice. You always have the choice to begin anew. Irrespective of how badly mistaken you have been in your past, irrespective of how misplaced and blunderous your choices in the past have been, you can still choose to disown your previous self and start afresh. That's the beauty of about life. That's the thing with consciousness. Consciousness is simply choice. But Duryodhana won't exercise the right choice, though the option is there. So we said his is a near ended state. He is finished off nearly. That 1% choice is still available, though he won't use it. Then you come to Arjuna, and Arjuna is close to perfection. Perfection is the form of Krishna, but nearly he is still maintaining a distance. Duryodhana is nearly finished and Arjuna is nearly saved. Yet, even when it comes to Arjuna, a distance remains from perfection, a gap remains. Arjuna is not yet fully surrendered. Arjuna is maintaining his personal self that comes from both biology and society, and here on we will hear arguments coming from those centers, from Arjuna, from the social center and from the biological center. The biological center will obviously talk of feelings of attachment, relationships of blood, and the social center will talk of all the prevalent social customs and beliefs that Arjuna is not feeling courageous enough or clear enough to violate. What Arjuna says and does. Arjuna said, Krishna, please take my chariot to a place between two armies, so I may see those who stand here for war. I must know the ones I am going to fight. Arjuna says, Krishna, please take my chariot to a place between the two armies so that I may see those who stand here for war. Take me to a place between the two armies. I want to see everybody who is assembled here for war. I must know the ones I am going to fight, so that reflects Arjuna's condition. On one hand, he is with Krishna. He does not say, I will go there on my own, Krishna. You stay here. So he wants to maintain his company with Krishna. He says, you remain here, but remaining with you. I also want to see the ones I am going to fight. Obviously, I have a deep relationship with you. I am not abandoning you, but I also don't want to immediately give up on the ones who have come here to fight. I just have a look at them as well. So Arjuna is with Krishna, but not perfectly with Krishna. He still has other interests, and those other interests show up in the very first utterance of Arjuna in the Bhagwad Geeta. He says, take me to a place between the two armies. I want to see what is going on, right? But then, is that really something to Arjuna's discredit? Not really. Because the others are all welded to their positions. Nobody else is saying, I want to observe both the armies. Arjuna alone says, I want to observe both the armies. The others are all welded to their positions, and their positions do not include Krishna. Arjuna is the only one who is with Krishna, but also says, I want to see the other world. My eyes are still on the world. My eyes are not perfectly with Krishna. That's Arjuna's situation. Krishna is with Arjuna, and yet Arjuna's mind is feeling pulled towards his worldly affiliations. What do we credit him for? We credit him for being with Krishna and not abandoning Krishna. And in this, we get a clue as to how to operate when the world starts meaning too much to you. Go wherever you want to, because that he has become your situation. You find yourself unable to resist the pull of the world. Just as Arjuna is saying, please take me near to the opposing army. Please take me to the center so that I can watch both the armies. You too are feeling a very strong pull to go near to the world. Fine, go. What the trick is to take Krishna along. Arjuna would have totally lost it. The Gita would have never happened. Had Arjuna said, Krishna, would you mind waiting here for a while? I have some sightseeing to do. After all, they are my relatives. I want to have a quick word with them before I kill them down. You please wait here. Arjuna might have as well said that, right? Even if you find that you have to proceed towards something quite ignoble, take Krishna with yourself whenever you are going, and you will find a Gita coming your way to save you. Because if you are already in a great position, you do not need the Gita, or Gita is needed when you are in trouble. It's another matter that we are always in trouble, so we always need the Gita. But don't make the mistake of abandoning Krishna when you are entering a place that is likely to swallow you up. Don't do that. On the other hand, our karma kand runs totally the opposite way. Suppose you keep a small picture of your favorite deity in your pocket. In general, you will find that when you are going to enter some kind of mischief, you will keep that picture aside. You will say, you keep it here. Because right now I know I am doing to do something quite mean. So I cannot keep this picture and do that kind of thing. So I am keeping this here. And then I will proceed and do at all. No, the approach has to be opposite. If you find yourself incapable of stopping in the matter of mischief, do whatever you feel like, but take Krishna along with you. Do not keep the idols and the pictures only in some specified prayer room. Keep them where you are most likely to be your beastly self. That's where they should be, because that's when you need support. That's when you need a Krishna to remind you of the truth. Instead, we confine God lines to some God forsaken, scared sport, so that God lines does not come to trouble or obstruct when we are pursuing our daily fallen kind of agendas. We do that or not? So fine. Arjuna says, I want to look at both the armies. You take me there. Krishna, you take me there. Even if I am going to a place that's likely to consume me, I will ask Krishna to take me there. You take me there. I might be committing a mistake, but if I am asking you to take me there, I am sure you will save me as well. I might have made a great mistake, but I have not made the final mistake. The final mistake is the one that Duryodhana has made, and that final mistake is to abandon Krishna. Arjun is probably making a mistake in being attachment, in being oblivious of dharma. But that one mistake that will totally devastate you, he is not prepared to make that one. So fine, take me there.